As you know, school is out for the summer, but your little one should be learning all year long. And one simple way to do that is by reading. Studies show that it's actually one of the best ways to prevent summer slide. Summer slide is a term for learning loss during summer break. And studies show that if students don't practice or review what they've learned in school, that they will forget it. Then those students often struggle in the upcoming school year. It is a constant game of catch up. And we know that literacy is a big challenge here in the city of Memphis. According to the Department of Education, 78% of MSCS students scored below proficient in reading during the 2023-2024 school year. So as you can see, the need is great to get our students on track and to keep them on track. So today we are seeking solutions together to help. Joining me now is Memphis educator, author, and mom, Tristan Towns. Tristan, we are so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Glad that you're here. So we know that you have dedicated so much of your professional life to literacy and to our students. Why is literacy so important to you and to your work?
So I have been surrounded by books my entire life, and I have seen just how powerful books can be. And one of my favorite quotes is about how books can be a mirror to your own life. You can see, yourself reflected in the books that you read, but also books can be a window and a door to other worlds. And so I think books, the power of literacy, it just can open so many doors for so many of us.
Absolutely. It's a gateway to anything and everything.
Exactly.
And that's one thing we have to share with our kids is that you can do so much by just picking up one book.
Exactly.
I know that you read to hundreds of students each and every year. How do you encourage them to just pick up a book?
So my best tip to encourage kids to want to read is to let them have choice in what they read. So, there's time and place where we have to read certain things, but when kids have that power in the choice that they read, whether that's graphic novels or silly stories or books about animals, whatever gets them excited, just giving them that choice.
I love that. The choice to choose while they're young.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. So creativity is also a big part of that. What are some ways to make reading fun, especially for the little ones during the summer?
Yeah, so there are so many things that we can do to help make reading fun, right? Of course, choice is one of the big ones, but also, you can turn reading into a game. So, during the summer, I like to say maybe parents can have like a fun reading challenge. Maybe that's a bingo, a reading bingo that you do, or some kind of maybe a family goal that the whole family can participate in, and then there's like a big prize in the end. And then also just letting them see that reading is a part of our daily lives. So, if you're baking, maybe have maybe a recipe card and let them read that and then bake cookies together. Or when you're going to the grocery store, letting them read that list. It may make your grocery shopping time a little bit longer, but it can be so meaningful for them to be able to just participate.
Yeah. So we know that there sometimes are warning signs that parents should be on the lookout for if they notice that their child isn't picking up on reading as quickly or as easily as maybe they should. What are some of those warning signs, and what do you do as a parent?
Yeah, so some of the warning signs, not being able to sound out words, not understanding, the phonemic awareness, and also, if they struggle with their comprehension. So they're reading, but they're not really understanding what they're reading. And so, of course, you can, talk with your child's teacher, talk with their school, and they definitely have lots of resources and tips to help you. But, once again, reading with them. So that way you as a parent, you can understand what's going on with them and kind of checking their comprehension.
Yeah, which is really good advice.
Yeah.
All right, another thing we wanted to talk about for sure is we have so many authors here in the city of Memphis, including yourself, with wonderful books. You've brought two of them for us. Tell us a little bit about your book. You want to start with I Am Me.
Yes, so I'm a co-author. So my sister and I wrote these books together. Our first book, I Am Me, it encourages kids to embrace what makes them unique, but at the same time celebrate others' differences. And then our second book here, My Wonderful Curls, it encourages the readers, readers of all ages really, to embrace and love their curly hair. And then we include some curly hair tips in the back to help, just to help kind of understand how to take care of your curls a little bit better. So both of our books focus on, self-acceptance and, just embracing what makes you unique.
Yeah, why is self-acceptance so important for young children?
Yeah, so we need to see ourselves represented in the books. We need to see ourselves positively represented. And so when they can see that, and they can see that there are other people like me, they don't feel so alone, right? A lot of times we can feel alone in different things. And so I think books can help us to see that we're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. These books are phenomenal. This was one of our summer reading programs for the Reading Wizard book. So I am very familiar with I Am Me, but My Wonderful Curls is new for me, and it may be new for many of our viewers. Where can people buy these books if they'd like to support you?
Sure. So our books are available on Amazon, really wherever books are sold online. And then, of course, locally, you can find them at bookstores like Novel here in Memphis, and even at our public libraries in Memphis. So.
Great. That is perfect. Tristan, thank you so much for all of the information and for sharing your gifts and your talent with us.
Thank you so much.